Hi everyone, good morning, good evening. So did anybody complete the assignment, development assignment? Did anybody complete the development assignment?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Okay, when are you planning to complete it?
Probably this weekend we'll try to complete it, ma'am.
Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about the database class. And inside that different methods we were discussing about. Right. So today we'll see with the example. So let's go to the developer console, debug. Let's suppose on the opportunity. So if we go to the Salesforce, if you click on the opportunity, let's switch it to the Lightning. Okay, if you try to create a stage, if you try to create an opportunity, so what all the things are important? Name is important, close date is important, amount we have to enter, stage name is important, and account ID. Let's assume that we'll take one account ID. Okay, so this is my account ID. Let me go back to the developer console. If I have to insert a record, what I need to do? If I have to insert an opportunity, what is the first step that I need to do? How can I insert opportunity?
Opportunity.
My fields are close date, name, amount, stage name, account ID. Yes, tell me, how can I insert it? What is the first step in order to insert the record?
Opportunity O equal to and select statement, SOQL query.
I'm inserting the new opportunity. I'm inserting the new opportunity. If I'm creating a new opportunity, what should be the line? First line. What should I need?
New space opportunity.
Initialize it.
Initialization.
New opportunity. So the first step is we need to initialize it. Initialization. Then what is the next step?
For loop. For
Why for loop? We are creating only one opportunity.
okay.
opp.name.
opp.name. Console apex. Next. opp.close
date.
Close date. Let's take today. Date.today. So in case if you wanted a date, you have to take date is the class. Inside that we have a method called today. Now in case if you do not want today, if you want a day, then you can take a day. If you want a month, you can take a month. So there are different methods are there in the date class. Okay. In case if you wanted to take a year, then you can take year. So for example, you are taking the today's date dot today. And on top of that, you wanted to add another day. So what you can do, today dot add day. So there is a method called add day is there. You can add one day. How do I know that whether add day is there or not? So simply mention here, add days, integer days, right? So for now, we are going to take the today is the method. What is the next one?
Opportunity.amount, OPP.amount.
Amount. Let's take $1,000. OPP dot
OPP.stage name.
stage name. Let's take prospecting. Prospecting is the pick list value for the stage name. OPP dot
Account ID.
account ID. So what should I need to give the account ID?
The one which we copied.
18-digit ID of the account.
ID.
18-digit ID of the account. So I'm done with the setting up the values. Assigning the values to the variable. Assigning the
OPP
values to the, what is the next step?
OPP.insert.
Why OPP dot?
Insert insert OPP.
Insert
Of, yeah.
OPP. So what will happen if I try to execute this? A record gets created in the opportunity. I gave the console apex, so this is the record is created, right? That is the perfect. Now let me take another opportunity. Now I'll take out this insert. Okay, and I'll take another opportunity. I'll take the copy of this. The name of this opportunity is OPP2. So what I'll do is stage name is a mandatory. Stage name is mandatory, right? So I'll take out this stage name. I'll not give the stage name, right? So now what will happen if I try to insert this, it should give an error, right? Because stage name is missing. Now there are two records I'm going to insert. Before it was having only one record. Right now I'm going to insert two records. So how can I take the two records in order to insert it? What do I need to do? Right now I have a multiple records to insert. What is the best way to do?
For loop.
Why for loop?
List
Of
opportunities.
We have a more than one record to insert. So that means I have to put all these records into an array which is related to the opportunity. So in this case, array or collection is nothing but a list. And I need to make this list name as to store the opportunity details. So OPP list equal to new list of opportunity. Clear? Any questions on this?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'll do is I'll take out this and I'll place it on top. Now, how can I add this multiple initialization into the collection. How can I add it? How can I add multiple initialization
Dot
to
add.
the collection?
Add all.
Why add all?
Dot.
It should be just a add. Okay, so let's take the OPP, right? And let's take the OPP2. Clear this?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, instead of doing this multiple times, what I did, I initialized it and then I gave the value, I added the values to the list. But instead of this, what I'll do is during the initialization of the collection, I'll simply say take the OPP, OPP2. Okay. I have taken out the add condition here. I have taken out the add condition. Now, how can I insert multiple records? How can I insert multiple records?
By using list or array.
Sorry,
By using list
by using
or array.
array.
You can
Okay.
insert list.
Why we have to take by using array, we have to initialize.
Array or list, ma'am, I said. OPP list dot, sorry, insert OPP list.
Insert OPP list. But
It will create the record.
is there a better way? Because the second one is my two records are going to insert. That is my first question.
We can use for loop
Why for loop?
to pick them one by one.
Why it has to be picked one by one? I already added to the list. Those records I already added to the
Because you created a list, no, in list. So in that case, you can
My first question is the two
add
records are
directly
going
on
to
this.
insert or not? These two records are going to
The
insert in the
second
system.
record will
Ma'am,
throw
it's
error.
thrown,
Second one is
it's thrown error.
having a problem. Okay. Now, which
Yeah.
is the best way to insert it right now? I know the second one is having the problem. Which one is the correct one to insert it? Do I need to go with atomic DML or non-atomic DML?
Database, you should go with database
Database
dot
insert. Database.insert.
Database.insert. Now here, when I'm
insert,
giving
yeah.
an insert, so here either I can give a single S object, right? Or let me pass the Boolean value here true. Let me pass the Boolean value true. Now let's see what it is going to happen. Execute database spelling. Required field is missing. It is saying that required field is missing. Now, if I take a false, did it give any error? what it happened, it executed. What did happen? It did not give any error. So that means database.insert. Okay, database.insert and passing the records to update, comma true. What will happen? It is going to throw an error.
Throw error.
Even if single record is failed. And none of them going to be inserted. Right? But a false, what is going to happen in the false?
It will not throw error.
It will not throw an error, though the records are failed. So the records are failed. So it is simply going to be executed. Now let me go ahead and see how many are created. Two records are created, right? One is already I created it, and the second one right now it is created. So if I take 2 and this is 3. Now I'll take out this false. I'll take out this false. That means what is the, by default it is going to take what is the one which is going to take by default if I do not keep false or true? By default, will it take true or by default, which one it is going to take?
It will take true. It will take true.
Yeah. So database.insert database.insert record to update by default. This will take the parameter as true. That means if single record is failed also, it is not going to insert anyone. So let's assume, let's take right now false. Now when false is happened, I don't know which record is failed, which record is updated, right? Now let me try to execute this. I'm executing the false by giving the parameter as false. I'm executing it. But this doesn't tell me which record is failing it, does it? It simply executed and without any error. See, there is no error. Proper transaction execution happened. But when I come and see the records, I could see only one record got created. The another record is not created. 2 is created. Console Apex 2 is created. But what happened to console Apex 3? We don't know. We don't know what happened to here. So this is a dangerous one. False is we don't know which record is getting updated, which record is inserted, which record is deleted. We will not know the information. In order to capture those information, in order to capture what are the records are failed, what are the records are successful. In case if you wanted to know, we have a something called database dot save result, database dot save result, and I can give a name to it. Yes. What is the meaning of declaration of this array?
Will
Save-
store
it
the
will save-
value in that object.
It will save the
Yes,
what
yes, yes.
error been happened.
Save the data into it.
What is the meaning of this array?
List.
List. Either I can declare the list by mentioning the keyword as list, or I can give this array. So now what are we doing it? Whatever the values that are inserted, I'm assigning the values to the SR. Who is SR? List of save result. List of save result. Now what I can do, like there are multiple records are there. So right now I have to go through the for loop of which one? Database.SaveResult, because everything will be stored into the Database.SaveResult. I can give var and then SR. What is the SR here?
List information.
List of the records that are going to store it into list of the records that are going to insert by using the Database.insert. Now here what I'll do is I'll print system.debug. I'll say result plus what is the variable name here? var.isSuccess. var.isSuccess. Let me go ahead and execute this. I have already Apex 2, then I'll use the Apex 4. Execute. Now let me click on the debug point. Now it is saying that result first one is true and result second one is false. Can I get more information about this? Yes, you can definitely get it. So system.debug, I'll say, give me the complete var information. Okay, let me go ahead and execute it. Debug. What happened? It is giving me the ID. So in order to get the success or not, we are using the isSuccess. var.isSuccess is going to give me the information, right? But if I wanted to know what is the value or what is the issue that is happening it, you can get it, get status code. Get status code. Okay, if you wanted to know what are the successful records, you can know the get ID. So here one is a var. Okay, let's assume that I wanted to know. I wanted to know the information. I wanted to know the information of the IDs that are inserted. So get ID. Get ID. Now let me go ahead. If I wanted to know the error, if something is happening, system.debug. And let's say error information. var.get status code. it will give the error information. Now let me go ahead and execute it. Something is wrong. Get status code. Get status code is not a method. Okay, let me execute. What is happening? Get status code. Okay, so this is the data that is going to come up from the get errors. Debug. So first error is there is nothing. The result is successful, and this is the ID, right? Now the second one, the ID is null, result is false, and this is the error that I'm getting it. So inside this, I can get entire information. So we can get the message. Here is the message, required field is missing stage name. Right, so always use database save result in the real time. Whenever we are coding it in the real time, whenever we are inserting or updating or doing any DML operation, store entire information into the database.save_result, which is a good best practice. Store the information, whatever the operation that we are doing it, and inside the database.save_result, you capture the information to know which are failing and which are successful, so that we'll have a track for the developer. It's not for the user level, it is for the developer. In case client says that, okay, some of my records are not inserted, what is happening? I wanted to know. So developer will give the information based on the data that is coming from the here database.save_result. So this is useful for the developer to know what is happening when they are doing the DML operation. Clear? Any questions?
Am I use database.save results in any DML operations?
Any DML operation in the sense,
Right.
only
Wherever
for
occurs.
the non-atomic. Whenever you are going for the
Yes,
non-atomic,
non-atomic.
yes. Use the database save result,
26 line.
especially for the insert and update upsert. Use for these three: insert, update, upsert.
Sure.
For this, it is required. Coming to the next topic, exceptional statement.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
25th line, equal to database.insert in the bracket, we wrote opt list. So that anyhow the condition we have to give, but this particularly we should give that whichever the list name we have taken, that always, or something else. That opt list you have taken, no, that is we gave the list name.
What
So
should
that
I
list name here in the bracket for condition.
Okay.
Hello.
What are the parameters that I need to pass it here? What are the parameters should I need to pass? Yesterday we discussed about the parameter that needs to be passed.
Hello.
Each method.
Oh.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
what are the parameters that
Yeah,
we
now I
need to
got it.
pass?
Yeah, you just said that several, like, in one of first single, then multiple, like you were saying yesterday.
Let me reconnect it. Give me a second. Okay. So what are the parameters that needs to be passed here?
Like yes, object first.
Okay. Okay.
And then again in second case, a single,
Var
like
or access level.
Raj, what needs to be passed? In this scenario, what are the
here in,
parameters that we passed it?
yeah, it's yes object means like yes object, and along with it you should go with the true or false, like.
Okay. What is your question then?
This particularly yes object means like whatever the particular means list we are creating. I used to get confused, like means
What is your
here,
question?
like whatever the null point. Okay, at the time of creation, like no, this in the bracket, what condition should be assigned, like
In the bracket, what is the condition should be applied? Tell me
this one.
what needs to be applied here.
Yeah, as you said yesterday, like there is a subject along with that, all null, some pointer, like
Okay. What is your question?
yes subject, all are null. Okay, from this I got it. Okay, if okay, madam.
Yeah. So coming to the exceptional statement. What is this exceptional statement? So basically, while executing the code, if we get any error, how to capture those errors in the coding level? How to capture those errors in the coding level? How to capture the information using the exceptional statement. So whenever we write a Apex code or Apex statement that captures error during the destruction of normal flow of code execution, and takes corrective measurement. Is called exceptional statement. So basically, exceptional statement is that if you are trying to execute any Apex code, okay, while executing, if there is something error happen, then you wanted to catch the error. You wanted to catch, as a developer, wanted to catch the error. So how can we do? So basically, this has to throw an statement. Throw an error statement saying that there is a problem with this. So how do we do it in the Apex? So we have something called try catch. Exceptional statement is there for every
Try catch exception.
coding. Every technology, it has an exception. So try, otherwise catch. While catching, you can mention the exception statement. While catch, you can say exception statement. What is the try will be there? In the try, just for the example that we were doing, database.insert, right? So what I can say is database.insert here. I'll remove this false, right? Database.insert and then OPP list. Now, if it is able to insert it, then go ahead with the try. But in case while executing it, if there are any issue, capture here the catch. So you can mention system.debug, you can print the error. You can print the error. So it's like we have a where it is the error is going to store, error is going to store it into the exception. So you can say that e.getError. Right? So now I'll show you that. Now let me take out this database.SaveResult. Actually, let me comment out this.
Sir.
Anybody has questions? Okay, so what will happen now? It is going to throw an error or it is going to execute it.
It will throw
Throw an
error.
error.
Error is going to come up, but it is going to throw me on execute anonymous error. Now, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to put here try executing the database.insert. If it is not possible, catch the exception and the parameter, the variable name is E. And let's say that system.debug e.getError. I'll try to execute it. Method does not exist, get error.
Errors, ma'am. S at the end. Get errors.
Message.
What is happening? Get error. Let me do one thing. So instead of this, let me print enter E. Execute it. Now from here, I can see system.dml. So this is a DML exception. This is not a exception, right? This is a DML exception. Let me see here, giving the catch as a DML exception. Execute it. Debug. Right, it is giving me the insert is failed. But did you observe one thing here? When I did not give the try catch, where it was throwing an error? When I did not give the try catch, where it was throwing an error?
It was giving here.
Anonymous error. It was giving anonymous error.
Where it was throwing an error?
Anonymous window.
Anonymous window. That means here there was a pop-up box is coming up. but there is nothing has stored at the back end saying that. That means if I do not give the try catch, it will disturb the user whenever they are executing it. In case if there is any error that happens during the execution of the logic by the user, by the client. If client is performing something, right? While client is performing something, error happened, right? Something broke. But there is nowhere they can see that what is the error, whether developer cannot see what is the error. And this is actually a good way of the programmer to always use the try catch. When to use the try catch? Whenever you are performing a DML operation. If everything is fine, go ahead and execute in the try. But if you do something problematic, first capture the information in catch. Either you can go with the database.SaveResult, or if you think my try catch is going to execute properly. Like it's not only the database.insert, if you have some logic. Okay, some business logic is there which is performing good. So probably you need to check a if condition, for loop, everything you need to check it before you perform any action. So during the if condition or during the for loop, something has broken. So in that case also you can use try and put all your logic into the try, and then give the, if there is any exception during the if condition or during the for loop, then it will come here. When I say if condition, for example, if I say that if opportunity dot stage name, okay, or opportunity dot amount equal to 2000, then only perform the database operation. Okay, then only perform the DML operation. I say this. So now what will happen? Amount can be entered by the user, amount cannot be entered by the user because this is not mandatory field. When the user does not enter the amount, this is going to break because your amount is undefined. Your amount is undefined. So this line is going to break, saying that null pointer exception, because there is no value is there. No value is there. You are checking the equal to, but null equal to 2000. It doesn't, like it says that null pointer exception greater than 2000. When it is a greater than 2000, go ahead and insert. But when it is a 0, that is fine. If it is a 0, that makes sense. 0 greater than 2000, it is false. So do not execute the DML. But if it is a null pointer, null is there. So when it is null, it cannot compare the null value with the 2000. So what it will give? It will give the null pointer exception, saying that there is no value at all on the amount. So in those scenarios, what will happen? You can handle in a smart way in the coding by putting entire your logic into the try. If you know that there is something is going to break and we need to handle it in the smart way, then use the try catch. Usually we do it in the integration side or any trigger. So these are the places where we use the try catch. Any questions?
Ma'am, can you explain what is the DML exception?
There are different type of exceptions we have. One is exception, which is a straightforward exception, and DML exception is nothing but which is related to the CRUD operation. If there is any operations that are happening, if there are any operations that are happening in the try catch, and if you wanted to capture the information only related to the DML, I do not want it to capture any other. So in that case, you can use in the catch exception, you can use the DML catch exception. So there are different type of exceptions we have. in Salesforce. I can give you that information. You can also create your own custom exception as well. So we have a something guide, developer guide. In there we have a exceptional statement. Okay. So one is exception, which is a straightforward. It is going to capture the information. And there is another one, exception type. Here is the DML exception. DML exception is only related to the DML statement. If you wanted to know the information which are related to the DML, the CRUD operation which is doing it, you can know using the DML exception. Also, you can implement your own custom exception as well. When I say your own custom exception, that you have to implement a class to store the exception. Now here we have a base exception. Base exception is a custom exception, which is implemented by taking the standard class, which has a exception, right? So base exception extended the standard one exception. So using this, you can store the information. So you can implement our own custom exception as well. So here it is a my exception. So my exception is implemented based on the standard exception class. Based on the standard exception. Okay, is it clear? Let's assume that I have a standard predefined exception class, which is given by the Salesforce. Which is, what is the predefined one? Predefined one is exception. Predefined one is exception, which is provided by the Salesforce. Now using this predefined one,
Wait 1 minute.
using this predefined one, if I wanted to implement my own custom, I have some customization on top of this exception. Probably I wanted to store some more information when the exception happens. So what I'll give is, I'll give here my exception, my custom exception. My custom exception. So what is my custom exception? This is on my own purpose that I am going to implement it. I do not want to use the Salesforce that has provided the standard one. This is the standard one which is provided by the Salesforce. I do not want to use this. But on top of it, I wanted to implement something called as a custom exception. Right? So that means I'll extend I'll extend the main one. I'll extend the main one. I'll take this exception. Whatever is Salesforce is providing, I'll take it and I'll extend it. How can I extend it? By giving the my class name. That means whenever my custom exception is executing it, then inside that, this is my custom exception. Inside that, I have the Salesforce one. Salesforce one is already there. This is the Salesforce one. Salesforce one, I have extended, I have implemented my own custom exception and I added my own errors here. These are the errors. I have added my own errors along with the standard exception. So what I'm doing, I'm extending the actual exception and then I'm implementing my own. Now I can give my custom exception in the catch. So how can I give the catch? Catch, I can mention my custom exception comma, I can give some name. So like this, I can give it. But if you go for the standard will have, if you wanted to capture the generic information, then you can use the exception. But if you wanted to capture only related to DML issues, then you can use the DML exception. Here, when this is going to be used, this is exception. For example, you have some condition check. As I mentioned right now, if condition opportunity.amount greater than 2000 or less than 2000. In case if user has not entered the amount, then you wanted to capture the information null pointer exception. That time DML doesn't work. You have to go with a generic exception exception catch. But in case during the insert, you see that there is some field is missing, then I wanted to capture the information that are related to the DML. This is a CRUD operation. During the CRUD operation, if there are any error, then I wanted to capture the information. This is any logic, could be a if condition, for loop, or some business logic, anything that is happening within the try. I wanted to capture the generic information which is happening there.
Even the CRUD we can capture with
You can capture here also.
the exception.
You can capture
Okay.
here also.
So if you're not sure about what will the error be, so we can just give exception, right?
Yes, yes. You can by default go with the exception. Somebody asked about the DML exception. Is clear?
Clear.
Okay. So ninth one, locking statement. What is that locking statement? Locking statement is basically, let's take an example. Let's take an example. We are performing some update, or we are doing some insert, or by taking the existing record, I wanted to perform some other thing. Now, how can I take the existing record? Let's assume that I have accounts, right? How can I take the account? How can I pull account information here? Existing account information. So let's go to the Salesforce. Here we have an account OneTech.del. So let's go to the OneTech.del. Now I wanted to capture this record information. I wanted to pull this record information into the developer console. How can I take it? How can I retrieve the OneTech record information?
By using ID.
Well, how do you do it by using ID?
By SOQL.
What you will implement in the SOQL?
Select like what I am going for.
Select
ID.
Let's take name, then
From account.
From opportunity or account, wherever.
why opportunity is coming. Just now only I told my business
Where
requirement.
name.
Account.
Where ID. 18-digit ID.
Right, so this way I'm going to capture or retrieve the data from Salesforce. From the database, I'm going to capture. Now here, account, ACC. Now I'm performing some operation here. What I'll do is ACC of 0 dot name, or I'll take another value. Let's take facts. ACC 0 dot facts equal to, I'll say 1111 or 666. I'll say update ACC right now. I'm updating just one record. If I try to execute this, what will happen? Did it get updated or not? Will it update or not?
Later.
Update.
It is updated to 666. Now I'm doing this operation from the code, right? I'm doing this operation from the code, but during my update, for example, I'm updating it. Some other user came and the other user also is updating this record. That means multiple users are playing with this account. When multiple users are playing with this account, system get confused. Whoever is last set save, only that data is going to be updated. Whatever we are performing, whatever I'm performing from the code base, it is not going to execute it, right? It will not be executed. Now, I do not want anybody to touch that particular record when I am doing, or when the development is doing, when the developer console is doing some operation from the code. We do not want anybody to edit this particular account. We do not want to edit that particular account by anybody. So that time we say locking system. How can I lock it? When I'm updating it, how can I lock my record? So first of all, locking statement is nothing but Apex allows a developer to lock the object record while developers are being updated in order to prevent the execution condition. So how can I lock it? In order to lock that, we have to use the keyword called for update. We have to use something called for update. Where do I need to use this keyword? After end of the any SOQL statement. After end of the any SOQL statement. That means here end of for update. For update. Let's assume I'm looping to the account. For account, and then I do the query here. This is ACC and select. I'm looping through all the records from account, and I can say for update. That means whatever the records are, I'm looping through it, it will log those. That means nobody is going to update my records till I complete the operation. till my operation is completed, nobody can be updated. Clear? Interview questions. What is locking statement?
So locking statement works only for update.
No, it's not for update. It is for the any DML operation, but the keyword we have to use for update at the end. In order to lock your records, just use the for update. Do not get confused with the word called update here.
Okay, even for the inserting also.
Yes.
Okay.
How it is used in
Here, I won't did any DML operations at the object level.
Yep.
Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. If I write a for update here in a for I give the for update here. Whenever I give the for update, if I go to modify any record in the object level, the account object level.
Yes, you can modify it because you are doing the perform, right? You are updating it. That's the reason you are locking other person. You are not locking yourself.
But I given the condition, I given the for update. Okay. I'm locking the other person, right?
Yes.
It's a kind of do not disturb while working, like
What is keyword for update means? Okay. Give the example. For locking statement. See, whatever the doubts you guys are getting it, I would suggest you try it first. Okay, you try it first. If it doesn't work, then come to me. Definitely I can answer that. But what is happening right now is you are asking the question, I'm giving the answers. So it is going on relaxed mode. Once the training is completed, you all are done and no assignment, nothing, no practice, nothing is there. And next day, whenever you come for the class, what are the new topic I teach on the new topic during the session? What are the questions that are coming up? You are asking those questions and I'm answering those questions. What is happening here? Question answers are resolved. But are you really confident when I answer it? When that confidence will come, when you practice it, the confidence will come. So I would suggest note down the questions, whatever you have, try it yourself. At least you practice that also. At least practice the one that you are getting the questions from your mind, because those are very good questions. I appreciate those questions, but instead of me answering it, okay, instead of me answering it, I would suggest you to try it. When we go through the life, when we go through the problem, then next time onwards, when we know, once we face the issue, like if I'm passing by some road and if I see some difficulty passing that road, next time onwards, I will not go in that road because I know what is going to happen in that road. If somebody tells me that don't go in that road, there is some issue, is there, something is not good. So if they say that, then I say, what is there? I can go. At least not today, but when I have very urgent that I need to reach some place in 5 minutes, I'll definitely take that road. That is a shortcut road. I know that is not well, that is not good. Somebody told me not to go there, but I do not have a time. Definitely I'll go that road. But if I know, even if I know that, okay, I already faced, I already seen what is happening there. Okay, I know that because I directly went there and I directly saw what is the problem in that road. So even next time when it is urgent also, I feel myself that, okay, I wanted to reach the particular place safely. So that is not the right way, because that day it happened in that direction. So it might cause a problem today also if I go there. Right? You have to go through that situation. When we go through that situation, then only we can understand what is exactly is happening. I do not say that it's a mandatory difficulty, or that's the reason people will say that by experience you are going to get it. What is that means? By experience, you have to experience the code. You have to do the hands-on more in order to get the experience. People will say that by experience you will get to know how that is working. What is that means? By experience means by experience you will be using that code or that logic. So after some time you definitely know, because you will be practicing a lot during your real time. So that time you will get to know by the 10 years or 20 years, you know that how the code is working. But what is the use after 10 years, 20 years, how the code is working? If you know right now how the code is working, each and single word, how to use it, it is going to benefit you for your future. But if you come to know this after 10 years or 20 years, what is the benefit that you are going to get it? You know how the code is works. You know how the FR is, what is a FR, what is the account, what is ACC, what is SOQL. If you know this after 20 years, how it is going to help you? Is it going to help you in your career after 20 years? If you want to become a manager, will you try after 20 years, or if you wanted to try it from now onwards? So that's the reason I keep on saying it, practice, practice, practice. If you have a goal in your life, practice it. The purpose you came for the training, that make sure that you are practicing it well. That is your goal. Right now your goal is you wanted to get the Salesforce certified. So in order to get the certification, or in order to make the Salesforce certified, practice it. So that's what I can say. I cannot hold your hand to practice it. So practice is very important, guys. And this is by experience I'm saying it. I'm also like you guys, because I know the pain. I know the struggle. I know how we have gone through that. So there was no person to tell me how the life is going to be in the programming side. So you have right now a person to tell you how the programming is going to be, how soon you need to capture the code, so that you will be successful in your career. I had gone through that struggle. I had gone through that pain. I had gone through those situations, because I know that. That's the reason I'm saying you to practice it. Okay. Is everybody Telugu here? Is somebody from Hindi or something?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm from
Me
Maharashtra.
Telugu, ma'am.
Maharashtra. Okay. So sometimes during our when we are studying 10th class, or that time we did not care about studying much, right? We are in a fun moment. Right? But after we grown up very well, when we started searching for a job, some people will say, if I would have studied well, I would have become IAS or IPS. But when that realization will happen, you have gone through that phase, you have completed all the study, you have done everything. Now you are in a phase to searching a job, right? But what is the use that you are saying that if I would have studied very well, if I would have studied in good school or good college, I would have become a IAS, I would have become a IPS. But whose fault is that? It's not our parents' fault, it's not our teacher fault, it's our fault, because we did not study it. We have had a good fun. Anyway, back to the questions, interview questions. Give the example for the locking statement. What is try catch? Give an example for try and catch. What else did we run? Okay. What is database.save? Database.SaveResult and how to use. Assignment. Create new records for account. Create a new records. Create new multiple records per account. One record has to have all mandatory information. Second record leave a one field which is mandatory. Third record has to have all mandatory information. Fourth record leave a mandatory information. Has to have all information, all mandatory information. Now, show me the result. Result of non-atomic show me the result of non-atomic by passing parameter all or none. All or none has to be with example of true and false and the default. Clear? So total 5 records you are going to insert. Okay, out of 5 records, 2 records has to be 2 records you miss some mandatory information. While creating itself, do not give the mandatory field. Now give me the result by passing all or none as a true, and another result is false, and another result is default. Clear the first question?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next one is for above example. So how many logic will come here? How many times we write the logic here? 3 times you have to write the logic. Right? On the above. For above example, use the Database.SaveResult and print the error on developer console. Developer console. Update first 10 records. First 10 account records. Update industry. Let's take a rating. Rating equal to 4 for first 10 records. And during the execution, log the records. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's move on to the advanced admin.